Okay, so you've polished your resume, you've written that perfect cover letter, and you've finally hit apply on your dream job. But what if I told you the very first gatekeeper, the one deciding if you even get a shot, isn't a person at all? It's an algorithm. And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi thing. For millions of jobs, it's the reality right now. So let's pull back the curtain and see how this whole thing actually works. It's a pretty wild question, isn't it? Could a robot really decide your career path? Well, the short answer is kinda. And honestly, understanding how it does that is quickly becoming one of the most important skills you can have in today's job market. So to really get this, we have to start with the why. Why on earth would companies hand over such an important job to an algorithm? Well, it's not just about replacing people for fun. It's about solving a huge, overwhelming problem of scale. Just imagine you're a recruiter at a really popular company. For one single job opening, you might get hundreds, maybe even thousands of applications. I mean, trying to manually read every single one, it's just not possible. It's complete information overload. This is where the applicant tracking system, or ATS, comes into play. This is the most common type of hiring AI you'll run into. At its heart, it's a piece of software designed to do one thing really, really well: sift through that giant digital pile of resumes and automatically filter it down to a small, manageable list for a human to look at. And this is the part you really, really need to get. Your application, it doesn't go to a person first. It goes straight to the AI. That AI then scans for keywords, skills, experience, and it ranks you against the job description. Only the applications with the highest scores ever make it to a human being's desk. The AI is basically the bouncer at the club, deciding who gets past that velvet rope. You know, probably the best way to picture it is like a dating app, but for your career. Your resume is your profile. The ATS is swiping left on applications that don't look like a good fit, and it's swiping right on the ones that do. It's all about making that first match based purely on the data. And it doesn't just stop with resumes anymore. Oh no, we're seeing way more advanced tools pop up. Companies like HireVue use AI to analyze pre-recorded video interviews, looking at things like your word choice and your tone of voice. Others, like Pymetrics, use these little games to figure out your problem-solving skills and personality. The amount of data they're collecting is just getting more and more complex. But all of this speed and efficiency, it definitely comes with a catch. Like any really powerful technology, AI in hiring is a classic double-edged sword. On one side, you have the promise of a faster, maybe even fairer system. But on the other side, there are some very real risks that could affect millions of people's careers. And right here, this is the fundamental tension at the heart of AI recruiting. You've got this amazing potential for speed and objective, data-driven decisions, but that's clashing head-on with the massive danger of amplifying hidden biases, all of it happening inside a black box where we can't really see what's going on. Now, for employers, the upside is pretty obvious. They can process thousands of applications in a tiny fraction of the time, which saves a ton of hours and money. The whole goal is to find the best people faster and more efficiently than ever before. And for you, the job seeker, this tech can actually be a pretty powerful ally. Think of it as your own personal career wingman. You know, systems like LinkedIn's job matching can point you toward roles you'd be perfect for, but might have never, ever found on your own. It can make your job search way more focused. But here's the biggest problem. Here's the uh-oh moment. An AI learns from the data you feed it. So if the past hiring data it's trained on reflects old human biases, favoring certain genders or schools or backgrounds, the AI won't just learn those biases, it can amplify them on a massive systemic scale. And this quote just perfectly captures the human side of all this. The frustration is real. When you get rejected by the system, you're just left with nothing. Was it a keyword you missed? Was it your tone of voice in that video interview? The AI doesn't give you any feedback. Look, getting ignored by a person is bad enough, but getting ghosted by a robot? That's just cold. So knowing all this, the good and the bad, where does that leave you and me? Because this tech, it is not going away. Let's talk about what this really means for your future job hunt, and more importantly, how you can navigate this new world. This is the big question on everyone's mind, right? Are human recruiters just gonna become a thing of the past? Are they all going to be replaced by algorithms? The answer, from everything we're seeing, seems to be a pretty clear no. It's not about replacement, it's about a partnership. The future of hiring really looks like a collaboration between human intelligence and artificial intelligence, with each side playing to its own unique strengths. So this partnership creates a kind of new division of labor. The AI handles all the high-volume, repetitive stuff, scanning thousands of resumes, crunching all the data, making that first big cut. And that frees up the humans to focus on what we do best, having nuanced conversations, judging culture fit, and at the end of the day, making that final, critical hiring decision. And this brings us to the most important takeaway of all. Don't be afraid of this system. Understand it. Because knowing that an algorithm is your first audience isn't a disadvantage, it's an opportunity. It means you can tailor your resume, you can use the right keywords, you can play the game smarter. And in this new era, that knowledge isn't just helpful, it is your biggest competitive advantage. So ultimately, the power really does shift back to you. By learning how to work with this technology instead of just fighting against it, you can turn that automated gatekeeper into your personal guide, which, when you think about it, leaves us with a pretty fascinating final thought. What if your next great career ally isn't a person at all, but an algorithm?